Bienvenidos una vez más a Disco Elysium, junto con Harry, el pobre policía que con el corazón roto, y para colmo está lloviendo. Bueno, ahorita mismo andamos solos, ya que King está dejándose el puesto para ver el cadáver del ahorcado y examinarlo, y mientras tanto nosotros estamos buscando otros misterios que hay en la costa de Martínez. Así que vamos a hablar acá con los caballeros que están aquí trabajando, parece. Están buscando... ¿qué estarán buscando? Bueno, a ver, preguntémosles.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
Morel, el criptozoólogo. Este es el esposo de la señora Lena, de la ancianita que siempre está en el bar.
In which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officer.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Gary, el criptofascista. A su madre. ¿Qué es un criptofascista? Un criptofascista. Dios mío, es que cuando combinas ahí de las NFTs con un fascista. Pero yo pensé que eso de cripto era bastante capitalista. Eso de vender imágenes, ¿o qué es esto?
Don't worry,
Dios mío,
Gary.
criptofascista,
I'll
pues.
handle it. To what do I
Usted
owe
debe
the
ser
pleasure?
Morel, el criptozoólogo. Me envía Elena, está muy preocupado por usted y espera
Thank you
su
for
vuelta.
passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881. Oh, good.
Han reparado la esclusa,
We
está
should
bien
really
cuando
be
la
getting
crucen.
back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
No quiero andar contando. Ay, Dios mío, no quiero recordar todo lo que he hecho los últimos episodios. Todo lo que hemos descubrido de Harry. Todo, Dios mío, es un desastre. Harry, Dios mío, ¿por qué tuve que recordarlo?
Did he say we can go back now?
Vale, continuemos.
Yes, Gary, we can go soon.
Sí.
If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long. I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
His hands are large and weather-worn, but also used to delicate, precise work.
Háblame de este fascículo que tanto
First
buscas.
of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it. I'm expecting it to be quite giant.
¿Cuánto mide el fascículo?
One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
Seems puny, to be honest.
good question.
¿Qué
Being
lo
a
hace tan difícil
phasmid
encontrar
of
ese
the
animal?
order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
Insecto fantasma. What?
And I suspect it may
Okay.
have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators or scientists in our present case.
Depredadores, que acaso hay las gaviotas fantasmas, los perros fantasmas y que están detrás de que se quieren comer a los insectos fantasmas. Ay, Dios mío. ¿Qué clase de técnicas
It's my hypothesis
especializadas usa el
that
Phasmid
it
para
has evolved
ocultarse?
certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex.
Electroquímica, ayúdame. Tú, este es tu momento para que
But
brilles,
I cannot
electroquímica.
describe how
Hazte
these
algo.
defenses work,
Dime tu opinión.
much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this Phasmid.
Vale, electroquímica, pensé que ibas a decir algo, pero bueno. ¿Por qué estás tan interesado en este
Typical
insecto palo?
rookie
¿No hay más
assumption.
animales sensacionales afuera?
Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian Phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
Would be glory itself.
Very little, I'm sorry
¿Qué
to
has descubierto
say.
hasta ahora, Del?
No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts. Not yet.
Nunca la viste entonces, hasta
That's
ahora,
what
nunca he
makes
visto
it
una.
a cryptid.
Pero si
I
nadie
know
puede
it's
probar
real.
que existe, ¿cómo sabe que es real?
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian Phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lina
Yes,
dijo que lo
the
habían
most
avistado
recent
aquí en
sighting
Martínez.
was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore. I have to resist the
el animal
thought
que esté
such an
muerto, ¿no cree?
extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Partenogénesis.
Yes, the females don't need males to
Parthenogenesis?
reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions. Yes, the Insulindian
¿Qué le estás?
Phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
There's nothing dispassionate about the way he talks about the insect.
Well,
Cuéntame más
they
sobre
may not
estas trampas
look
que tienes.
impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick. Simple. Attracted
¿Cómo
by the
funcionan?
locusts, the Phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton. Yes. What?
Vale, permíteme preguntarte otra cosa entonces.
And I'm
Lena
eager to
parece
return
bastante
to
ansiosa
her,
por vuestra
I assure
tardanza.
you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Of course
No
it's
sabía que el
important to
fascído
her.
era tan importante
She's
para Elena.
seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
O sea que Elena es la que vio el animal y Morel es el que quiere demostrar que el animal existe.
Yes.
¿En serio? ¿Vio el fásmido?
How we
ella no me
first
lo
came
contó.
to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Este hombre está en las últimas. Está bastante ansiando. Está aquí en la lluvia, en la nieve, buscando un insecto fantasma por días ahí en la intemperie. Tal vez puedan volver a Willing, calentarse y regresar más tarde.
The
¿No le
traps
parece?
need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
Vale, pero un animal no va a aguantar 2 días,
He's
3
dead
días con
set on
eso.
this.
Si es de ese tamaño, no creo que haya problema.
I could go for some trap
Sí, pues.
setting.
I didn't expect you
¿Y
to
si
take
compruebo
such
las
an
trampas por
interest in
usted?
our work here, officer.
El caos de mi método, yo soy un vástago. La criptozoología y el
Yes,
trabajo
indeed.
detectivístico son
Both
muy
require a
similares.
great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence. There are 4 in total. One
¿Dónde
is to
están
the
esas trampas?
south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed,
Yeah.
by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them... You should check at least one of those before
Yeah,
returning to
derecha,
this
yeah.
one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry. Bring it to me
¿Qué
at
hago si hay un
once.
fásmido en
Just
una de las
make sure the
trampas?
trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
Bueno, que se lleve el crédito, pues el hombre es el que se está matando buscando. Y yo llevarme la gloria por venir al último, no creo que sea bueno
That's
tampoco.
highly
Y si
unlikely,
encuentra el
officer.
fásmido en otra
In
parte,
the event you do, I'll spray you with the pheromone mixture I developed.
no, por favor, no. Me acabo de quitar
It's
el
made
dolor
of
del
must and
muerto
research
y ahora me van a
chemicals.
poner
The
feromonas.
pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week. Wise choice.
Ya, échemelo.
Thank you for your help.
Estoy listo,
Gary and I will
pongámonos a ello.
start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask.
Finally, you're being sensible. I'll start packing right now.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
Ya, bueno.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very
Búsqueda de
generous of you to
animales.
help us out, officer. I'm just waiting for my
Explícame
friend
qué
Morel
carajos
to
es un
finish up with his
criptofascista.
insect traps so we can return to civilization.
No
I like nature,
¿No eres un
just
amante de
not
la
this
vida al aire
bloody
libre?
coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
A ver, degenerados, por desgracia que soy un borracho, me generado.
Oh,
Nadie es
I've been
perfecto. Fijo que alguna
tempted,
vez te han intentado beber.
but someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other people. Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
Órale, este hombre no es inocente. A ver, un segundo. ¿Sabes algo sobre el hombre ahorcado tras el Willing Rex?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
Entonces, ¿sabes algo al respecto o no?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
¿Gary no será la comadreja que el sindicato me pidió que abra la puerta? Me pregunto.
He's not feeling very comfy in his clothes, is he? Strange. He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
¿Esta taza es tuya?
My mug? Why would you think that?
Veo que la reconoces, se aprecia en tu mirada.
I may have had a similar looking mug in the past. That's all.
Sigue resultando sospechoso. He mencionado que encontré la taza en la escena del linchamiento.
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
A ver, fascista, comentario. 250 reales. De hecho lo voy a hacer. Serán 20 reales.
Okay, I deserve that. And I won't do it again. You have my word. I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, I've been having trouble at work lately. The Koikos are price dumping us out of competition.
Menos mal que Kim no está acá.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
Cierto, sobre la ropa, cómo llegó al contenedor, todavía eso es un misterio. Todavía no hemos descubierto eso. ¿Cómo accediste a ese contenedor de basura, Gary?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Ah, vaya, qué buena excusa. Hasta ahorita teníamos la asunción de que solamente el municipal y Gart tenían la llave, o Sylvie. Digo, la trabajadora anterior a Garte. Pero esta es una nueva opción. ¿Por qué ahora buscar en la basura a la gente?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Bohemians run it like a mob.
Vale.
I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Gary, ¿pusiste la ropa de la víctima del asesinato del hombre al que colgaron el Trewi en el dicho contenedor?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Adelante.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
De acuerdo, ¿qué sucedió?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
Vale, Gary, ¿y las armaduras?
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
¿Qué ha sido ese sonido tan raro?
What sound?
Ese tintineo que he oído cuando te has movido. El pedazo de la armadura. Es por eso que no lo hemos encontrado.
Really? There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
No sabrás nada sobre la armadura desaparecida de la víctima, ¿verdad?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
¿Qué ha sido con ese sonido tan raro? A ver.
What sound?
Déjate de rollo, ¿sabes de qué estoy hablando?
I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though.
Prosigamos por ahora.
Insect. I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
Compostura, Dios mío. Y bien, Gary, ¿vives cerca de verdad? ¿En un apartamento Martínez?
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
El señor Claire debe estar muy enfadado contigo. ¿Le digo eso? ¿Cuál de las dos? ¿Cuál de las dos? ¿Cuál de las dos? ¿Has encontrado tu puerta abierta recientemente? Esto sería muy amenaza de mí para ti, pero si le digo con el señor Claire, es como de otro para... Creo que vamos a usar al señor Claire por esta. El señor Claire debe estar muy enfadado contigo.
Mr. Everard?
Así es. Insistió en que abriera la puerta de tu apartamento.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
As he lowers his tone, he hunches his back.
Intenta no cagarla, Gary. No es más que una puerta abierta.
What could it be about? I probably talked too loud. In the whirling. About some theories I had. Whatever it is, I'm done with it. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
Gracias por tu cooperación. Vamos un ratito a revisar si tenemos algo para aumentar compostura. Un ratito. No podemos perder esta. Uf.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law.
Ya. ¿Por qué se mueve así? Analiza su compostura.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
¿Algo que lleva puesto debajo?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
Veo que eres un connoisseur del equipamiento de combate de alta calidad.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
¿Por qué mentiste, Gary? ¿Por qué me mentiste, Gary? ¿Sería esa la correcta? ¿Cuál es la pregunta correcta acá? ¿Cuál es la verdadera razón por la que tiraste esa basura? ¿El asesino? ¿Él puede ser el asesino? ¿Encubrirle la huella del asesino? Capaz porque habría más pistas ahí. Puede ser. A ver, veamos con la segunda. ¿Cuál es la verdadera razón que tiraras esa ropa? No, pero espera. Teníamos dos posibilidades. No, tres posibilidades sobre el disparo. Él puede ser el asesino desde la terraza. El que disparó desde la terraza. ¿Le pido la armadura o...? Ya, ¿cuál es la verdadera razón por la que tiras esa ropa a la basura?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
¿Por qué mentiste, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But...
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
Pobre. Dame esa armadura ya.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
¿Sabes quién mató al ahorcado?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
No volveré a abrir la boca sobre este tema nunca más.
This is all he knows.
Sí, parece que sí. Parece que él solamente es un tonto oportunista que trató de sacar algo de provecho de esto. ¿Hemos acabado, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
Ya, vaya con Dios, Gary. El criptofascista. Pobre hombre. Lo hemos dejado en el piso. Umbral de dolor. Más voluntad y menos una empatía. Esta coraza de esmerto vitreo se ajusta perfectamente a la segunda energía de sintéticos vulnerables. Por sorpresa, la también puede llevar bajo de abrigo. Super. Tenemos los guantes y nos faltan las botas. Super equipados. Solamente nos falta la cabeza. Ahora este caballero me dijo que teníamos que revisar las trampas por acá. Oye, dijo que había una trampa por acá, creo. Oh, acá está, acá está. Esta es la que mencionó.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
Alcanzó la trampa.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Vale, no hay nada. No hay nada acá. Entonces, ya se fueron. Bueno, más que les
This
conté
is
todo.
the trap Morel just set. Checking it over, he said, is just a technicality. But
Miremos de nuevo.
this trap is also full of panicked locusts. No sign of any cryptozoological beast inside. Man, it's lonely doing this alone. The wind seems to howl in a strange manner.
Tiene razón. Extraño aquí. No en el sentido medio raro como ustedes dicen. ¿Qué es esto?
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water.
¿De qué va esto?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
Un buen lugar para esparcir algo. ¿Qué es esto? Tiene escrito el número 11. ¿Qué pasó con eso? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué rayos fue eso? Me pareció... Algo me quiso decir el juego, no sé con eso. ¿Qué necesito? ¿Versión espacial? ¿Qué para verlo? ¿Cuándo tengo? Visión espacial tengo +2. ¿Qué más tengo con visión espacial? Visión espacial. No, nada más tengo con visión espacial. Qué extraño, ¿qué fue eso? No sé, no entiendo. ¿Cayó una mano? Se me ha quedado la mano, el símbolo de la mano en el cursor. ¿Qué fue eso? No entiendo. ¿Qué quería hacer el esto? Bueno, ya lo que sea, dejémoslo ahí. Ya hemos terminado de revisar toda esta zona, creo. Vámonos a esta zona. Dejemos acá los caballeros ahí viendo... Están mirándole esto. ¿Qué pasa?
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
Intentar ver en el interior.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
Está súper oxidado dentro. Vale, entonces por acá no se puede entrar. Es un edificio de ruinas. Y aquí está el maldito teléfono. Esta es la zona pesquera.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
Mirar más de cerca.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth.
Continúa.
It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass. Much as the thought of touching it causes you to cringe, this could be the jacket the idiot in the colorful tracksuit was looking for.
Oh, su chaqueta. Tocámoslo. Chaqueta mugrienta. Usa el botón de interpretar el inventario para inspeccionar el objeto. Si está mugrienta, pues tendremos que lavarlo. A la señora lavandera podemos pedirle un tejado improvisado. Todos han intentado que el paseo marítimo sea habitable. Sí, pues parece que han tratado de vivir acá. Esta luna no protege la lluvia, la nieve, el viento. Palanca, palanca. Bolsa, ¿qué bolsa? Postal del año 33. Curón. Ay, Dios mío, mi francés es pésimo. Una báscula de monedas, llevan décadas sin usarse. Otra caja. Grafas graduadas 4 ojos. Enciclopedia más 2. Vale. Más monedas. Un contenedor grande de vino está abierto y vacío. ¿Un contenedor de vino?
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Un momento. Esto es horrible.
It doesn't help. You can still smell it.
¿Qué es?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that.
¿El olor de un cadáver?
Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be.
Maldita sea.
A sense of dread washes over you as you look ahead.
Ten cuidado, los tenedores patrones están podridos. Caminemos lentamente. Ah. Señor, no es señor.
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper.
Cadáver de clase obrera. Espero que no sea el que yo creo que sea.
Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there. Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe.
Examinar la ropa del hombre.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. The leather jacket suits him well. It must be custom made.
No vamos a robarle la maldita chaqueta.
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
El carnet de biblioteca. Un carnet de biblioteca del hombre. Estudiar el cadáver.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. 3 bottles of wine or 1.5 of spirits. Or maybe it was just dark.
Examinar su rostro.
His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years.
Es un 80% que sea el marido de la señora. Estudiar los alrededores.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist.
Examinar la cabeza.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him.
Sí, pues. Pisar sobre los talones. Con cuidado.
The boards screech under the weight of the T500 ceramic sabatons. It's a good thing they're so light, because it's hard to determine whether it was the dead man's weight that caused the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him.
Examinar la botella.
A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
Examinar el envoltorio de chicle.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall.
Mirar adentro.
The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rear teeth.
Se murió mordiendo el chicle. Dar un paso atrás.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
¿Y qué hago con el cadáver?
First, you need to talk with the lieutenant. Then report back to the station. This is too complicated to handle on your own.
Tiene razón. Acá no corremos. Este visor es un año de años sin servicio. Hay una buena calle de 20 metros. No corremos acá, no queremos correr la misma suerte que el hombre.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Examinar los envases.
2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find.
Este hombre estaba acá tomándose la parda.
No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
Examinar el paquete de tabaco.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra.
El envoltorio de kebab, que lo más seguro que sea de este caballero.
You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief.
Su última comida, ¿eh? Pobre hombre. ¿Qué pasa? Deliciosa fermentación. Pobre hombre. Encontrar la muerte así.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter life is garbage.
Lo haré por la noche si puedo. No quiero volver a llamar ahora. Después del último episodio del pobre hombre, del pobre Harry. Vamos a examinar un poco antes de meternos a la iglesia, ¿les parece? Quiero conocer un poco más de la zona, los alrededores, antes de meterme en el cuento, porque siento que la iglesia va a ser algo especial. ¿Y esto? ¿Una puerta? Los engranajes oxidados hacen girar toda la maquinaria. El edificio tiene antes al ver el motor, debería ser grande. La cadena se pierde el océano, hasta quién sabe dónde.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
¿Qué leches es esto?
The concrete structure looks military in origin, over half a century old at least, but sturdily built.
Un edificio militar, una base militar. Conectividad 6%, intentarlo en tirada crítica, a la miércoles. No, imposible. Conectividad, no llegaría ni con eso. Hace poco han tirado este barril, todo huele a full de combustible. Una camisa, un polo blanco. Ya tenemos todo un armario ahí llevando nuestros bolsillos de todas las ropas. Hacia el sur se alza el paseo marítimo, proyectando sus delgadas sombras sobre ti. Oye, cuidado. Aún me sigue extrañando aquello de lo de la boya. Me pareció el mensaje así todo extraño, pero bueno.
This trap's not too hard to spot, once you know what to look for. Keeping it hidden has not been a priority for the cryptozoology. Nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no cryptozoological monstrosity.
Vale, entonces tampoco está acá el fásmido. Colillas de cigarros metidas bajo una piedra. Marca tu motri. ¿Cómo se lee esa vaina? Tu motri, tomas un autometal. Parece importante. ¿Y ese sonido de las piedras? Alguien hizo una hoguera aquí hace mucho tiempo. El panel de control de habilidades parece oxidada. La escalera está demasiado oxidada para usarla. El aire costero se ha cebado en ella. Bufanda perfumada. Escalofríos menos 2 forma física. ¿Quién va a llevarse esta vaina? Hay pequeñas enseñanzas de lejos hacia abajo. Ves los postes que atraviesan el camino. Me pareció escuchar el sonido de unas piedras que se caían. Ahora sí mi imaginación. Bueno, creo que ya hemos revisado todo el lado de la costa. Conectividad 3%, no, ni patadas. Y para con una tirada crítica no se puede volver a intentar. ¿Qué lado me falta para lograr esto? El lado derecho de la iglesia. Sí, está demasiado oscuro para saberlo. Dinero. Al final le cobré los 20 reales al chico. Vale, creo que no puedo pasar. Harry. Estamos buscando... Perdón. Hacer esto debe requerir bastante paciencia. ¿Alguien aquí? ¿Quién es usted, señorita? Supongo que señorita. O caballero.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
Hola.
Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Muchacha, te vas a morir de frío. ¿Dónde está tu gorro?
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little louder.
He dicho que deberías ponerte un gorro.
So should you.
Debería y lo tengo.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
No pasa nada. Tú también deberías ser uno si planeas quedarte aquí afuera con todo este tiempo.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Ay, autoridad. 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 Y tengo 5. Y tengo ventaja con objetos. ¿Y aún así me da tan bajo? Es tirada heroica. ¿Cuántos puntos tengo para subir? No. No, este puntito lo voy a guardar. Veamos. Autoridad. Recupera la autoridad ante sus ojos.
Lots of feeling. Feel it up. Way up.
No me creo que acabes de mandar al gorro a que se lo trajinen.
You're saying it really loud, but it's not coming out right. Maybe add more indignation.
Así que debería buscar un gorro, follármelo, ¿no? Tener relaciones sexuales con un gorro delante de ti, porque tú lo has dicho, aquí en el hielo.
More.
Aquí mismo, sobre el hielo.
More.
¿Quieres ver el espectáculo de polifolla? ¿Gorros? ¿Eso es lo que quieres?
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Eso sí, como me ves.
The girl looks down, slowly curling into a ball.
En fin, no puedo creer que hayas usado obscenidades así delante de un inspector de policías. Deberías y deberías.
The words are stuck in your throat. All that comes out is tears pouring down your face. The young woman has kept her eyes trained on her wires. Looking up, she sees a grown man on the wrong side of 40, his face bloated from alcohol and God knows what else. Not so quietly, crying.
Ay, Harry. No debíamos haber dicho eso. Simplemente debería dejar bastante pasar. A veces... Bueno. No eres la ley, Harry. No eres la ley.
This isn't really about the hat, is it?
Deberías ponerte un gorro. Eso es todo lo que quería decir.
I swear to God, I will always wear a hat from now on.
Vale, estaré bien si te hago algunas preguntas por ahora.
You know, you're not the only one with issues. I self-medicate. Shit. Life's a horror, you know?
Cierto.
Crying helps, though. Get it out your system. And then maybe we can talk.
¿Qué pasa? ¿No me quiere hablar de nuevo antes?
So, like, seriously, What's eating you, man?
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing, and she wears thick black eyeliner. Most men wouldn't call her pretty. There is a manliness to her, a coarseness.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Estelle.
¿Y tu apellido?
Why?
Y tanto porque, olvídalo, anda.
Okay.
¿Qué es ese chisme que tienes ahí?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
¿Y los cables?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
Entiendo.
Okay.
O sea, estás grabando ahí. ¿Qué haces aquí afuera con el frío que haces? ¿Qué haces aquí?
Recording, I guess.
¿Qué es lo que estás grabando exactamente?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
Espera, ¿no tienes auriculares?
My boyfriend sold them.
¿Para qué?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Everything checks out, sire.
¿Para qué son grabaciones de los quebrajudas y pasos?
The musicians in the Elysium used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Ajá.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
The girl is cold all of a sudden.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
Darle tu gorro. Lo necesitas más que yo.
Thanks.
Esa gorra no, dale la otra. Ahora no le voy a hacer la chaqueta. Dijiste algo de un garito de música. ¿A qué sitio te referías?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Elysium or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Elysium, that's for sure.
¿Los chicos?
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
Ajá.
And why is that?
¿Cómo es que tú estás aquí muriendo de frío y los chicos se quedan en la tienda?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Cosas como qué.
Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
¿Por qué no dejar algo fuera para que no tengas que congelarte?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
Le voy a dar mi chaqueta, pero voy a ponerme una más simple. No te voy a dar la fine.
Go ahead.
Empatía, la gravedad está sobre hielo. Empatía, tengo un punto en empatía.
Okay, bye.
Tan malo soy en empatía. Ventaja por ideas, ventaja por objetos. ¿Cuál me baja empatía? Por Dios. Esta chaqueta, las cosas no le voy a dar ni a patadas. No, ¿tienes otra chaqueta? ¿Sabe qué? Dale la de crucero. Que se vea brigadora.
Hello again.
Sí, ¿podemos hablar un minuto?
I was wondering when you would come around. What's
Bueno,
up?
supongo que hay cierto algo que ha hecho de mi vida un infierno.
What is it?
Los quitan trabajo. ¿Qué es lo que te preocupa, Harry? Las tribulaciones de la clase obrera, que todo el mundo se aproveche de la clase empresarial, los primeros emprendedores. ¿Crees que son todos esos inmigrantes que nos quitan trabajo? O creo que la 4. La gente sigue anteponiendo sus intereses egoístas al bien común.
Oh, really?
Sí, nadie entiende que a veces hay que hacer sacrificios en aras del progreso. Es todo muy lamentable.
So, the thing that's got you crying in front of strangers is the slow pace of social progress?
No me malinterpretes. Estoy a favor de un progreso lento y constante. Solo deseo que la gente sea un poco más razonable. Eso es todo.
Okay, so you're not that upset, it sounds like.
Más angustiado por el estado de las cosas.
Uh-huh. And you're sure it's social progress you're distressed about, and not, I don't know, some chick?
Estoy seguro, y antes que comenzara todo esto quería hacerte unas preguntas.
Go ahead.
El garito musical. ¿Qué es aquí afuera con el frío que hace?
Recording. I think I'm recording cracks in the eye.
Yeah.
My boyfriend's old.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everything checks.
The musicians in the palace.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
The girl.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I'm doing.
Dale la chaqueta.
They use synthesizer. No, man, fuck that. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
Suspirar.
She's shivering a bit.
No quiere la chaqueta, de verdad. Es tan mala. Está bien.
Go ahead.
Cuéntame más sobre el garito.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah,
¿Qué es la música anódica? Anódica.
you know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments. Synthesizers and tape consoles, microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
Vale.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like,
Así que quieres
if it
convertir.
ever comes.
Así que quieres convertir la iglesia en un club, ¿no?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it.
¿Por qué?
Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're a cop, right?
Sí, ¿por qué lo dices?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
Hablaré con ellos.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Basta de hablar de la iglesia, tengo otra pregunta.
Go ahead.
Le dices un gorro y no quiere nada más. Y solamente por el gorro, y un gorro de buena calidad, y aún así 3%. Bueno, dejémoslo ahí. Por Dios, empatía. Pintados con tono de pastel. Un intento alegrar esto. Basura de alguna fiesta interminable. Una barra clara de hielo que mantiene la tienda erguida. Más marcas triviales. Este pozo está cubierto de pequeños humanoides. ¿Esto?
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
Empujar la eternita.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Tenemos un cortacaminos. ¿Y esto? Este es el segundo lugar de alguien, como el tuyo. Parece escuchar una música. Veamos acá.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
Andre.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Estrujarte adentro. La tienda musical. Veamos. ¿Cómo serán los 3 chicos que no dejan entrar a una pobre chica? A una pequeña tienda para proteger sus equipos de música. ¿Cómo de qué tratarán estos chicos ahora? Sudor y albergue para la ropa, además de prestigio para el recipiente lleno de procesar agua, la etiqueta que pone de este lado. Un montón de aerosoles nasales marcando sobre el ultra. Una de las originales que se utilizan para una música muy alta.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in grip.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Estrechar la mano.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
Noid, no sé por qué me hace recordar a Craniométrico.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
¿Qué haces aquí?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
No hay que disculparse, la verdad es que el lugar no es ninguna joyita.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
¿De qué estás hablando?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Ya.
Dopeheads! Burnouts!
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that! The world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there were the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
¿De qué calaña estamos hablando?
The spooky kind.
¿Qué quieres decir con espeluznantes?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
¿Qué?
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
Me decidiré más tarde. Primero tengo que hacer algunas preguntas. Ahora no.
All right, man.
¿Cuál es el estado de la iglesia? Aún no he entrado en el edificio.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock is a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Así que tiene un candado. Todavía no he intentado abrirla por si acaso. ¿Qué hay de la llave?
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
Only if he promises to look into the spookers in the church.
Officer, I apologise. Noid doesn't always understand the joy of giving for the sake of giving. I think it may have something to do with his childhood.
Damn it. Take it. Don't you just want to see what's in there?
Está bien, dame la llave.
Brilliant! Noid, the key!
All right.
Reacción. Una crítica. Vamos. Harry, atrápala, sé guay. Policía superestrella, vamos.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left. Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Regálate con la gloria del momento. Gracias, tronco.
The speed freak nods to you. A respectful nod. You proved something here.
¿Cuánto tiempo llevan estas personas encerradas ahí adentro?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
¿Seguro que no han muerto de inanición?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Vale, una cosa es dar guay y otra cosa es poner a alguien en peligro a su muerte. El 85 no es suficiente cuando lo que está en juego es el bienestar físico de otra persona.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that.
Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands now.
Bien, pasemos a otras preguntas.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
¿Quién es exactamente esa gente que hay en la iglesia?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
Ok. ¿Ni siquiera los has visto y quieres involucrar a la policía?
Well, there's also the machinery.
¿La maquinaria?
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
Es como un silencio horrible. Pero no habéis visto físicamente a nadie.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
¿Cómo que algo te estaba observando?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
Ok.
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
¿Será el fásmido del criptozoólogo?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
¿Un hombre cangrejo?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
¿No será una araña?
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
¿Estás seguro de que había un hombre cangrejo?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it. but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
¿Puedes contarme más sobre la maquinaria?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too.
With a small surge of PEA, alertness fills you, as if to say, this is a dark corner. Look behind it.
Bien, entonces lo hablaré con Noid.
Good idea.
Sí, creo que están medio drogados los chicos, me parece. Entonces, ¿cómo estás seguro de que son unos perdedores y unos junkies y ni siquiera los han visto?
Well, honestly, I can't, but I am.
Why not? Let's go with that.
No veo nada malo en ese razonamiento.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you.
Ok, hablemos de otra cosa.
Sure. What?
Mencionaste que los eclesiásticos son los dueños de la iglesia. ¿Quiénes son esos?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
Antes de seguir, ¿qué quiere decir con meteoriano? Meteorano.
You know, of Meteo, concerning Meteo.
Meteo.
Meteo, a country, on Muindi, on the Muindi Isla.
Ya, ¿y el partido fundador?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
¿Y?
And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the innocentic system, no?
Hasta ahora de lo que hemos escuchado de la historia de Rebachol y todo eso, de la iglesia, no hemos escuchado casi nada, así que esto me parece bastante nuevo. No parece la clase de gente que quiera un club de baile en su iglesia. Sinceramente no suena.
You're totally wrong about that.
The Pericarnassian Church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. Love is hardcore.
Unity. Unity.
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
No decir nada y simplemente disfrutar del ritmo. Sí, porque el ritmo pega algo.
Feels good.
Supongo que el amor puede ser hardcore. Puede, entre comillas, o entre asteriscos.
Oh yeah, it can.
Siempre y cuando no te rompan el corazón.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
Ahora entiendo que fue una tontería sugerir lo contrario. La música anecdótica va sobre el amor y también sobre la iglesia parquesiana. Bueno, somos un policía estrella, ¿no? ¿Por qué no?
Yeah! Yakokata!
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if they get this club going. You've got it in you.
Me gustaría preguntarte sobre esta tienda llena de equipamiento.
Yes. What?
Veo que te has traído tu propia agua.
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
Destilada y todo.
Oh. It's the one they sell at the fuel station.
Odio decírtelo, pero aquí apesta sudor.
It does, doesn't it?
Told you we have a smell problem.
Espera, también huele a ether. ¿A qué se debe?
Ether? I don't smell ether. Do you, Noid? No.
Está mezclado con un olor químico peculiar como de agente para la ropa.
He sniffs the air, then shrugs. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like the kind of guys who've done their fair share. However, their breathing is regular, their jaws stay put and their pupils aren't dilated. So, not under the influence right now.
Aquí avienten tanto no se fed.
The what now?
Estas botellas, no se fed ultra, tenés un montón.
Oh, the old Ultra. I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter, can't even breathe.
A mí me parece que estás bien.
Yes, that's all Nosafed's doing. Without the Nosa, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosafed is the shit.
Necesito un oso para mí, para cargar mi moral. Puedo tomar un poco y también tengo algunos problemas nasales.
Sure. Here you go, officer. The Nosa. Blast away.
Gracias. Está bien, no más preguntas.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Lógica. Lógica. Manera de explicación. Lucifer sin explicación.
As always,
¿Qué pasa?
Wow, so someone's been a little boring.
¿Qué?
Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
Oye, solo hago mi trabajo, no necesito extravagancias.
Of course you do. Let's get right to it. My lord's copper type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax.
Quieto, parado. ¿Este será mi arquetipo a partir de ahora?
Yes, the type of cop you are, sire. Think of it as a caste, a class even, a nation of regular law officials that you belong to. It comes, of course, with the usual benefits.
¿Por qué no? Adelante con ese fax, no tengo nada que avergonzarme.
Done and done. No actual communiques will be sent, of course. That would be too dramatic.
Necesitamos lógicas para romper eso. Lógica. ¿Qué más tengo lógica? No, este baja. Este sube.
hi again. So, how are things going?
Puede que no sea todo como te han dicho. Concédete un momento para analizarlo. Vamos a ver.
A number of things don't add up. Let's take a look. How about gather around, kids?
Está bien, muchachos, acercaos.
The young speed freak puts down a busted capacitor and looks at you. The one with the large head seems very enthusiastic about whatever you have planned. Their would-be leader is less amused.
En algún momento del pasado, y no estoy seguro de dónde y cómo enfermé, me convertí en la sombra de lo que veis ahora, pero antes de eso me tengo razones para creer que fui inspector de policía.
But you still are.
Gracias por tus amables palabras, pero aquí todos sabéis que soy una vergüenza para el uniforme. Fui lo bastante bueno en este trabajo como para ser premiado con el rango teniente Jeffrey Tom. Podría haber sido capitán, ¿te lo imaginas?
What happened?
Yo fui lo que me pasó.
That's a real downer.
Ahora bien, eso pudo haber sido hace 1000 años. Sin embargo, todavía queda algo de inspector en mí.
The young speed freak is silent.
Estás sobrio. ¿Te resultó difícil mantenerte sobrio para esta reunión?
We don't need drugs to be hardcore.
Shut the fuck up, Egg.
Puede que hoy no, huevo, pero necesitas drogas para celebrar esos días en los que no me esperas.
Climb down from the equestrian monument, cop man. Consciousness is new to the universe. We all have our ways to ease the shock.
En resumen, lo sé.
What exactly is it you know?
Este no es el proyecto de un club, es una tienda de campaña llena de equipo laboratorio para fabricar drogas.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it's wrong. Look, we even have speakers.
One speaker. They have one speaker.
¿Y dónde está su compañero? ¿Lo has perdido?
What do you mean, friend?
El otro altavoz, solo tienes uno.
It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first thing about sound reproduction in anodic music. Other speaker.
No tienes auriculares. ¿No necesitas sus auriculares para hacer girar la cinta?
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing.
Ese no sabe que estaba por aquí, es su ingrediente activo.
He said it was for his nose. What more do you want?
Agua destilada, la piedra angular de cualquier laboratorio limpio.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
El éter que se huele en el ambiente es un disolvente útil, bueno para extraer el agente activo de una solución.
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether.
Es ambos. Creo que es necesario seguir sacando pruebas, ¿verdad?
No shit.
En resumen, necesitas aprovecharte de un inspector de policía para montar un laboratorio de drogas.
That's... Come on, that's...
¿Ilegal?
I meant to say, not true.
Andre, ¿qué voy a hacer contigo?
What do you mean, do?
There's resignation in his voice. He's almost ready to drop the act. It wouldn't take a lot of pushing.
Dime de qué va todo esto en realidad y seguiremos desde ahí. Puedo ser indulgente.
What do you mean by lenient?
¿No lo sabías? Soy el policía más hijo de puta de este lado del río. Te haré la vida difícil. Os haré cada contacto que haga falta. Básicamente eso es amenaza. Pero los chicos están ahí. Bueno, no se fat, pues, pero los chicos no se deben estar drogando. Ahí tenemos a Kuno y a Kuniese. No creo que sean muy buenos ejemplos. Nada de revisar a los refuerzos y llevarlos a todos al talego, de momento.
Okay, man, okay. Things are just so hard for an entrepreneur in this city right now. It's not like we lied when we said we want to turn a church into the wickedest club in East Revershoal.
Because we do! We totally do!
Pero...
We just need to turn it into a speed lab before.
¿En serio?
To get our foot in the door.
¿Y por qué me necesitabas?
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this stuff together. A month ago, the place was empty, and now it's all spooked up.
Despelunantes no tienen nada, ¿verdad?
No, man. They're spooky, all right. It's just that they would also probably call the police if we started cooking speed in there.
Vale.
But the sign was way off too. I couldn't feel the love at all.
Sir, you promised you'd be lenient.
Sí.
This is it. Judgment time.
No, no voy a pensar. ¿Qué les podemos decir? ¿Sabes qué? Voy a decidir después. Tengo que investigar las situaciones espeluznantes antes de acercar contigo. Pero creo que voy a necesitar una ayuda con Kim para que me ayude a decidir esto. No digo que no pueda decidirlo ahora, sino que me gustaría escuchar su opinión. Y también el tema de los espeluznantes, que puede que sea demasiado para solo un policía. ¿Te parece?
We can continue on an amiable path, right? No more misunderstandings, no more lies. Before you go, is there anything else you need?
No, eso es todo por ahora.
As always, we'll be right here.
A ver, tú...
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good. It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
¿Por qué te llaman Noid?
The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
¿Eso significa que necesitamos una conexión senoidal?
Yes, further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this will be by getting us into the church.
Háblame de las máquinas que viste en la iglesia.
Weird stuff. Specialized. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery.
Gracias por el detalle.
Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
Lo sobrenatural, ¿crees que es real? ¿Que existe realmente?
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs. Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
Nada más me va a decir Noid esto. ¿Las sinusoides qué son?
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align.
Interesante.
I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
Vale, veremos si nos lleva un mejor. Y huevo, que es el que está más metido.
A young man with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Welshi tape player, nodding along to the music. He looks at you with a knowing smile and says, as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secrets,
Hardcore!
No dice nada.
Hardcore!
Sigue sin decir nada.
Hardcore to the mega!
De acuerdo.
Here comes the night!
Ya.
could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Sí. ¿Alguna vez han intentado hablar con un drogado? Ay, Dios mío. Una cosa es hablar con borrachos, otra cosa es hablar con drogados. Cada uno tiene su propia mentalidad y su personalidad y cómo esta fluctúa con la sustancia. Bueno, vamos a hablar un poco con la chica y terminaremos el episodio. Aquí ya hemos dado una revisión completa de la costa, excepto que nos falta la iglesia, pero siento que para la iglesia necesitamos a Kim, porque lo que sea que vaya a estar adentro ahí va a ser grande, mucho para nosotros.
The shaggy-haired girl kneels on the sea ice. She looks up as you approach.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us?
No,
With the church, I mean.
No sabría decir, antes tengo que hacerte unas preguntas.
Shoot.
Tus socios intentaron utilizarme para montar un laboratorio de drogas. Me imagino que ya estarás al tanto de este plan.
I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth, which isn't much. You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk Andre out of it. I even tried not to lie to you.
Indeed, she merely tried to omit the truth instead.
Ah, sí, solo eso. Deberías haberte forzado un poco más. Engañar a un policía no es moco de pavo.
I know. I should have been able to control them. And I will in the future. I promise. May I ask, what did you tell them?
Eso lo decidiré después de haber investigado la situación de la iglesia.
Oh, right. That's wise. Take your time.
Los otros me dijeron que entraste a la iglesia. ¿Qué viste adentro?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
Ya veremos, dime.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
Continúa.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out.
¿De verdad vas a
End
usar la
story.
palabra hombre cangrejo? Bueno, ¿qué aspecto tenía?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail.
Vamos, teatrabilidad. Te haré caso. Vamos, déjate de rodeo. ¿Qué aspecto tenía?
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
¿Un cangrejo y un pandillero?
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
Te equivocas, te creo.
Why?
Suena demasiado ridículo para ser mentira.
I guess so. Anyway, what else?
Me gustaría saber más cosas sobre tus socios.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
¿Qué quieres decir? Algo sabrás de ellos.
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
¿Qué hay de ti? Cuéntame algo.
Me? I'm a silver bird.
Ajá, está bien. Puede que te vuelva a preguntar algo más respecto más tarde, entonces.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Ay, empatía. Y bueno, eso es todo por esta zona. La música está ahí pegando fuerte. La iglesia. Vendremos otro día. Vamos a usar el viaje rápido. Ah, sí fue como funciona. Ya. Agente de la ley corriente moliente. Después seguiremos usando para regresar a la ciudad. Y aquí estamos. Muy bien. Tenemos varias cosas que hacer acá también. Tenemos Cindy, tenemos a René, tenemos a Clash, tenemos al Garde, la pantalla del pájaro. Tenemos también los chicos de Hardy, su última versión. Tenemos a Kuno, tenemos la historia de Kuno también. Y creo que nos falta un poco más de los camioneros. Pero bueno, eso será para el próximo episodio. Muchas gracias por ver. Suscríbanse, denle like al video, como quieran. Cualquier comentario en su video, comenten y todo. Nos vemos.